I have spent a long time trying to figure out who I am. In my opinion, people tend to overcomplicate themselves. I've fallen victim to this too. The familiar desire to decide what is right and what is wrong, to judge people who looked and act or believe differently, overcomplicating the I. But what if it could be just as simple as being? What if we could all just be without judgments, without consequences, without hatred? I'm sick and tired of trying to fit into a world that I will never belong to. The same world that I created in my own head, the same world that I can change to better suit me. And not in a I have to this and I have to that type of way, but rather in a way where I can feel comfortable enough to let myself fly too. A world where there are no limits and no right way. I will never be the type of person to feel passionate about driving down someone else's road. I will create my own path. And it will be the road to me. The road where I get to know myself. And a road where I can again love myself. I've noticed a pattern with my behavior. I get better and then I return to the life that once fit me because I feel like it'll fit now. To my shock, every time it never does. I have outgrown my past. I have outgrown people. I have outgrown my old self. Yet I still watch myself try to fit back into all my old skins. I pull the mask out of the back of the closet and try to fit in where I never belonged. I sit in rooms that I don't want to be in. I interact with people who drain every sense of self that I have. I try so hard to get them to listen, to understand, to see me for me. But they only ever see what they want me to become, trying to persuade me that the path that lights me up is fake and wrong, trying to mold me into the person that they wish I had become because they have given up on themselves. I will no longer be a vessel for anyone but me. I will do what I want. I will go where I want to go. I will see who I want to see. And I will never again let them tell me I can't. I know I can. I have proven to myself over and over that I can handle anything that I desire. And yet I allow others to scare me into failure. I know who I am, and not in a way that I could ever sit here and write to you about, but in the way that matters. I know what makes my heart happy. I know how to listen to myself. I know how to follow the path that I lay instead of allowing distractions to drag me off of course. I know how it feels to be me, and I will never allow myself to forget that again. Here is my best attempt to tell you my story of how I found myself. I wrote this in hopes to inspire you to be more of your authentic self. I'm a smiler. I love to smile. I always have. In all of my childhood pictures, I look like the happiest kid alive. And I probably was at the time. I didn't waste time thinking about others or trying to map out my entire life. I just did what felt fun. I put together puzzles with my mom. I ran around the yard with my dog. And I loved everything with my whole heart. I was happy, and I did not care what other people thought. My light was so bright, and everyone could see it. Everyone chased it. Especially those who had lost their light, would tend to start surrounding me in hopes of stealing just a taste of the glory. I loved these dark figures, the ones who chased me, the ones who found me. I called them forward with my light, and I loved them with all that I had. I guess at some point I gave it all up. The last dark shadow sought me out, and I gave up all I had left to light them up. Sacrificed myself to save them. All of my light was tangled up in all of those who I had loved. My smile became non-existent. I blew out that light that I had worked so hard to keep. I gave up. I was sent here with purpose, to spread love to those in hate. Some days I still feel like a failure to this mission, but one thing that is factual is that I do the best that I can. I wake up every morning with the intent to make someone's day better, even if it needs to be me that day. I have this pattern though, a pattern where I take on too much at one time and the fire starts to go out again. I scramble around trying to get it roaring again, causing a chaotic mess in the process. And once I get a grip on things, I look around at the mess I've made, and again I feel like a failure. I always take on too much. I always think that I can handle way more than I can. But I like to remind myself that my job here is not to save everyone, but to do a damn good job at healing a few. My purpose here is not the only thing that I need to do. Sometimes I forget this, and I prioritize everything above myself, forgetting that I am the most important piece of this puzzle. My job is to keep my light alive, so I don't get lost again. My job is to make sure that I am happy. My job is to not hurt others. My job is to do my best. I'm not the Messiah or God reincarnated. I can't save everyone. However, I have always been able to make people feel better just by my presence. Of course, this was not the case when my fire was depleted and caving in on itself, but my fire has the ability to heal. I have the ability to heal. I am an empath, a sensitive, and heart-centered human. I love to bring others peace and comfort and safety. I love to be the person that I always needed. It took me a long time to realize that I could use my own powers on myself. I can heal myself. I can love myself. I can make myself comfortable enough to be myself. I can use my powers to make myself stronger, to heal myself, and to allow myself to be me. Superheroes never think about themselves because they assume saving others is more important. But what happens when you kill yourself trying to save too many others? Who's gonna save them now? I cannot be responsible for everyone. I am responsible for myself and making sure that I am well enough to make an impact. I am allowed to step back when I need a break. I am allowed to prioritize myself sometimes. I am allowed to walk away from a situation that is too dangerous for my well-being. It is okay if I am not powerful enough to save those too far gone. This is why I chose to send myself help. This is why I allow myself to grow so that a higher version of me may be strong enough to face those bigger demons. My current self is not perfect, and it may never be, but I allow myself to try. I allow myself to fall down and get back up stronger. I allow myself to take on easier tasks so that I may prepare for bigger battles. I will not stress about every little thing that I cannot control because I am only one small individual and I can only reach so far. My favorite color changes every day. I wake up feeling like a brand new person every day. Sometimes a better version and sometimes a very tired version. But every day I wake up grateful for what the day will bring. Whether it be pain, tears, and healing, or whether that be love, peace, and grace. Every day is important to me. The highs and the lows make me who I am. I have bad days. I have days where all I want to do is give up, but on those days I allow myself what I need. I allow myself to do what feels right. I allow myself to pick a new color for the day. Today, as I am writing this, my favorite color is black. To me, black signifies the void, meaning I can fill it with whatever feels good. A blank slate for a new beginning. Today, I manifest for clarity and what that may bring. The endless options of what could be, what I could want, what I do want. I have always set extremely high expectations for myself because I know that I could be capable of so much. My downfall is I think I need to be that person immediately. However, that is not how that works. It takes patience, care, and attention to grow anything. Otherwise, you risk killing it. I have the ability to save everyone, but I am not ready today, and I won't be ready tomorrow. But I can take little steps every day to work towards that goal. What little step can I take today to make myself proud? How can I benefit myself so that I may help others today? By focusing just on the step ahead instead of on the whole walkway, I can better manage my progress today. When I spend too much time focusing on what's currently impossible, I tend to lose sight of what my goals are to get there. If I only know where the finish line is, I won't remember how to get there. Today, I will do with what is within reach. Today, I will focus on the next block. Today, I will focus on today. I love my scars. I love the way that they remind me how I overcame hell before. A sign that I can get through anything. A sign that I can overcome anything. The scars show me how going too far leads to pain for both me and the world around me. Carved in my skin is proof of how far I've come and how far I can go. All the lessons and the torture, it had a purpose. It allowed me to grow, and it allowed me to witness what does not serve me. It allowed me to open my mind to more possibilities. The pain that I endured allowed me to help others who are there too. I managed insight into the depths of hell in which I crawl to revive others. I know which streets to avoid and how to get past the sleeping dragon because I've been there. I get it. I know. Sometimes when I sit in a room, I know I do not belong there. But I sit there because I cannot stand to rip the strings from the walls. I hate damaging property, and I hate hurting myself. But sometimes withstanding a little pain allows for the freedom to find where you truly belong. Sitting in a room full of torture is never better than trying to break free from those chains. This is when that dog on the leash comes in handy. I can release my inner beast and demolish the life that hurts me. I have learned that he minds better on a leash. I can chain him back up when the demolition's done, and he sits back waiting for his cue to intervene. I always know when I've taken it too far, but it is extremely hard for me to walk away. I've stayed way too long in too many toxic relationships. Too many toxic situations, and the longer I stay, the harder it is to leave. I have learned to listen to my heart and admit when I'm done. Admit when I cannot go any further. Some people are just too far gone for me to be able to save, and it becomes time for me to hand the reins to someone higher. I don't give up. I don't give in. I know what I can handle, and I don't let myself hit that breaking point anymore. When I feel myself starting to drift, I find my way back to the path. Once I got really far from my path, I was super lost, but I heard this little voice inside, guiding me back. She was soft and gentle and kind, and she loved me the whole way back. She made me feel validated for taking it too far. She said she'd been there before. It was me. I saved myself. I called out into the wind to find that missing piece of myself. She was terrified. She was in really bad shape. But I took her and I cared for her until she felt strong enough to walk beside me once more. Sometimes she still drifts off a little, but she always comes back to me. And I will never allow myself to get too lost again. I found her in the depths of hell with all the other lost souls that haven't been found yet. I got a little too lost one time. I love myself, even the worst parts, even the side that caused pain. I love her because she did her best, and I know that. I watched her fight like hell to find that light. She fought for so long, and it paid off. I found every little piece of light that they had stolen from me. I gathered up all the pieces. I patiently glued them back together in solitude. It took a long time because I was very shattered. But I took my time to make sure that I did it better than I did before. And it might not look perfect, but it should hold up long enough for me to get through this next part. I've never really been good at words. They never quite mean what I want them to. My brain thinks in a way that is contrary to how most perceive the words. This has been my biggest issue with communication. I try to tell people how I feel or what I'm thinking, and they look at me like I'm crazy. And maybe I am, but they'll never really know until they take a seat on my roller coaster. I love poetry for this reason. The words are put together in such a way that makes me feel seen. Words put together in a way that most wouldn't comprehend. It's hard for me to make friends. They want to talk about boys and politics and the weather, and I want to talk about what's beyond the surface. I want to get to the core of your being. People don't get this. They don't want to revisit painful memories. They don't want to know why I tick this way. It's hard for me to connect to people who don't care what's deeper. I like to have deep late night talks. I like to cry and laugh and scream and dance. I want to see you. I want to hear you. I want to know you. I don't care about the masks that you think you need to wear or what that one person thinks of you. I want to know what made your day. I want to know why you feel. I want to know what you saw. I want to know how you work. This is why I have a hard time letting go. I know everything about everyone I meet, and they know nothing about me because they don't care to listen. I pay too close attention to things. I see things other people miss. I hear people without them even speaking. I watch how people work. I understand why they perform. I love people too deeply because I understand them, even those who don't know me. I listen when no one is talking. I watch when no one else is. I question that no one has answers for, just to get their minds turning in a new way. I love opening doors for people. I love pushing people to reach further. I love challenging others, and I love pushing people over the edge. Sometimes they don't fly, and they hit the ground. And they always blame me for pushing them too far, but I only mean well. Sometimes I mistake myself for others, and I forget they're not ready. I see myself in everyone I meet. feel like I've done it all before. People hate when I say I understand to a situation that they don't think that I've been through. But I believe that I have. I believe I have experienced it all already. Time is a tricky illusion, seeming as though it is limited and cannot be altered. But this belief does not limit me. I travel in time. I exist in more than one place at a time. I create more time. I let time pass. I do not feel limited by time because I know I will never run out of it. I can always create more time. And I can always stop time. I am time. I like to envision myself as a tree. Roots planted solidly into the ground, base exposed to all the harm of nature, and limbs reaching for the clouds. Swaying in the wind, growing in the sun, drinking in life. It reminds me of my place here. How I am planted on earth even though I crave so much more. I always have dreams of flying, so that I may see the whole picture. But I realize that I am the whole picture. In a human body restricted by gravity to the surface. I remember to ground myself back here where my current mission resides. Sometimes I float off into imagination, and I forget that I am in reality. I need to remember to come back. Every day I feel a little more full. Even when I thought I couldn't get any bigger, every day I feel a little more myself. Every day I feel a little more happy. Every day I try to be a little better. Every day I try. I love simple mornings of porch sitting and black coffee and books and knitting and watching the dogs play. I love waking up with the sun and reminding her to love herself. I love silence and birds chirping and wind blowing. But I also love crazy nights with loud music and bright stars and wild dancing. I love watching people get fucked up and kiss people they hate and forgetting others are watching. I love letting loose and having fun and getting in trouble. I love the balance of life, where the constant meets the chaos and grand harmony. I love my crazy ride. I love life. I used to hate myself. I used to hate life. I used to want to give up, to throw away all the hard work. I used to project my hatred to others and feel like a victim when they gave it right back. I used to hate humanity. I used to hate. I've come so far on this wild ride, and it's not even close to being done. I'm not giving up anytime soon, even when I have bad days. I will hurt, I will love, I will fight, I will forgive, I will understand how important it all is. The good, the bad, and everything in between. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I attract darkness because I am light, but I love the darkness more than the light. I love the darkness so that it may start to accept itself as it is. There is nothing wrong with any of us. We are just human. We are just doing the best that we can with what we have been handed. And all we can do is keep trying to be who we want to be. The only way to go is the way that you take yourself. Nothing can stop you. You cannot blame your circumstances. You did this, and you deserve this in every way possible. If you attract it, love it, even if it hates you. Love it until it forgets to hate. Love it until it loves itself. I love myself. I love everything. I am not a stranger to hate or pain or loss, but I know that no matter how hard I tried, I never was able to fix anything by hating it back. We are not meant to suffer anymore. Look up to the sky and scream your name. Find those missing pieces and be the person that you have always wanted to be. Love who you want to love. Be happy. Be amazing. Be you. And I will be me. Always love.